Alex Eala secures wild card spot in Abu Dhabi Open main draw. Alex Eala has secured a spot in the main draw of the Abu Dhabi Open after receiving a wild card entry. The Filipina was initially listed as a qualifier, but the WTA 500 tournament confirmed her inclusion in the main draw on Thursday. The Abu Dhabi Open will take place immediately after the Philippine Women's Open, which runs from January 26 to 31st. Also featured in the main draw are Jelena Ostapenko, Leylah Fernandez, Victoria Mboko, and defending champion Belinda Bencic. Eala has been on a busy run to start the year. She opened her season at the ASB Classic, where she reached the semifinals, followed that up by being named as champion in the Kooyong Classic, and then made her main draw debut at the Australian Open. When doors open on hard courts, Alex Eala and the wild card that carried a nation's hope. The desert air of Abu Dhabi hums differently when tennis season arrives. It carries the echo of bouncing balls, the hush before a serve, and the quiet ambitions of players chasing something bigger than ranking points. This year, among the names printed on the Abu Dhabi Open main draw, one stands out, not because of size or seniority, but because of meaning. Alex Eala. A wild card, they call it. Two simple words that sound almost casual, like a lucky break or a friendly invitation. But for Alex Eala, that wild card into the Abu Dhabi Open main draw is anything but casual. It is earned. It is symbolic. And it is heavy with promise. More than an entry pass. In professional tennis, a wild card is often misunderstood. To outsiders, it looks like a free ticket. To players, it is a test. A spotlight. A message that says, "We see you. Now show us." For Alex Eala, this wild card is not a shortcut. It is a checkpoint in a journey that began far from the gleaming courts of the Middle East. It carries the weight of early mornings, endless drills, and the quiet resolve of a young athlete who learned early that dreams demand discipline. She does not arrive in Abu Dhabi as a tourist in the draw. She arrives as a contender, aware that every forehand will be measured, every mistake magnified, and every moment watched by those wondering if she belongs. She does, carrying the Philippines onto the global stage. When Alex steps onto the court, she doesn't walk alone. Behind her is a nation that has rarely seen itself reflected in the elite tiers of women's tennis. The Philippines is known for its passion, its resilience, and its love for sport, but global tennis stages have long felt distant. Eala changes that. Her presence in the main draw of the Abu Dhabi Open is a quiet but powerful declaration. Southeast Asian tennis has a voice, and it is getting louder. Young players watching from Manila, Cebu, or Davao will see something different now. Not just highlights on a screen, but possibility, proof. And for Alex, that awareness sharpens her focus rather than softening it. She has grown up with expectation. She has learned to convert pressure into purpose. A court built on courage. Wild cards can be cruel. They throw players into deep water. No warm-up rounds. No easing into rhythm. The competition is immediate. The opponents are seasoned. There are no guarantees. But Alex Eala has never relied on guarantees. Her game has always been built on courage, taking the ball early, trusting her angles, refusing to shrink when rallies stretch long. She plays with the quiet confidence of someone who knows she belongs in the exchange, even when the odds suggest otherwise. In Abu Dhabi, each match becomes a conversation between past and future, between who she has been, a junior champion, a rising prospect, and who she is becoming, a player ready to write her own chapters on the professional tour. The moment between serves. There is a moment in tennis that rarely makes highlight reels. The pause before a serve, the bounce of the ball, the breath, the brief silence where everything narrows. That is where wild cards are truly tested. In those seconds, Alex Eala will stand not just as an athlete, but as a story in motion. She will feel the unfamiliar weight of a main draw badge at a WTA event of this stature. She will hear the crowd, sense the cameras, and recognize that this is one of those moments that separates potential from arrival. And then she will toss the ball. Because that is what she has always done. Step forward, not back. A beginning disguised as an opportunity. Whether Alex Eala advances deep into the Abu Dhabi Open or bows out early is, in some ways, beside the point. Tennis careers are marathons, not moments. But moments like this matter because they signal belief, from organizers, from the tour, and from the future itself. This wild card is not the destination. It is an open door. It tells Alex, Your work is visible. It tells young Filipino athletes, the stage is not closed to you. And it tells the tennis world, pay attention. As the Abu Dhabi sun casts long shadows across the court, Alex Eala will take her place among the field, not as an outsider, not as a novelty, but as a competitor shaped by patience, ambition, and quiet fire. Some wild cards fade quickly. Others mark the start of something lasting.